Okay. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone is doing well. I know I am. But yeah, glad to be doing this again here today and be doing this in front of all of you guys. And thank you everyone that's here right now. Thank you for everyone that's lurking, chatting it up. Much appreciated. Arthritis has over 200 different diagnoses. So there's over 200 different types of arthritis, and I'll kind of be covering more so like the broad paintbrush of it. Just because it would take me forever to go in depth to every different types of arthritis and to explain what they are, explain like what is used right now as treatment, and then how can cannabis be used as a substitute, basically, and then how can cannabis help in better ways than the original medication, I guess, that they were being given. So, so pretty much the flow of these cannabis talks, I'll try to kind of tailor them all the same way. That way it's kind of easy for everybody to kind of pick it up and just keep going with it, or it makes it easier for people who aren't here right now, and when I do edit this down, they can easily just go into the flow. Because obviously if I'm talking about how cannabis is going to help arthritis, then that means they've already missed most of the cannabis talk, because usually I'm going to talk about what it now to kind of go into it, the flow will pretty much be an intro to what the topic is. So I'll pretty much give you guys a breakdown of what arthritis is as a whole, and kind of give you a general sense of what arthritis actually is, not just like, oh, it's just pain between the joints, but why is that? Try to go more in depth with that. And next I'll go into how people are affected, and then go into how people are trying to alleviate their arthritis pains right now, and kind of give you a breakdown of the side effects as well of those medications that they are taking. And for the most part, they're mainly just painkillers and anti-inflammatory medications, but they have a countless amount of side effects, which, like I said, I'll go into later. And next I'll go into what research has been done for cannabis and arthritis and how it can be beneficial. And then I'll kind of give my own personal opinion at the very end. And then I'll kind of take any questions or just any comments that you guys have, and then we'll discuss. So let's start this off. So basically, what arthritis is that it is inflammation of the joints, which causes pain or several other symptoms like morning pains, pain in the hands usually. Usually when people talk about arthritis, they're talking about their hands, and usually you can see it because their joints will be very, very big, and it'll kind of like go fat and then go back in and then go fat again. So it's usually on the joint areas, and sometimes I'll kind of give you guys a look at what arthritis can look like, basically, and they'll kind of look like this. So as you can see, there's like major swelling in the joints, and you can see like the joints are like, they're not straight. They tend to curve at some points, and it can hurt. It can hurt a lot, and I can only imagine that the pain that arthritis patients are actually in. It's basically an inflammation in the joints, and that can be caused from surgeries that have healed improperly. It can be due to genetics, which is pretty much the really, I guess, the shittiest end of the stick right there. It can be from dysfunctional immune system, which can actually lead to lupus as well, which is another form of arthritis, and rheumatoid arthritis. Uh, it can also be an abnormal functioning of the metabolism, and that can actually cause gout. And for those of you that don't know, kind of what gout. I've kind of talked about the other topics, but gout. I know a lot of you who do know what gout is. They know that, oh, you get it from eating a lot of red meat, which is true, which is very true. You should eat red meat and fish and poultry and all of those types of meats in moderation. You're never supposed to eat like just red meat. If you were to eat red meat for a week, your body would be pretty messed up. And basically what gout actually is it's the excess of uric acid in the blood. Now, what is uric acid? It's basically an acid that is in meats that in turn inflame your joints and then give you lupus. In turn give you gout. Sorry. Yeah. There can be many ways that arthritis can be onset, and really for the most part, with the exception of genetics, you have control over whether or not you're going to get arthritis. Maybe not the improper healing of the joints, but then again, your doctor should be on top of that. But yeah, so arthritis hurts like hell. And so I'm sure if anything hurts, they're just regular doctors are going to give you a painkiller. Now, that's what we're going to go into next. So some of the symptoms already of arthritis, other than the pain, is early fatigue, because obviously if you're going to be doing any types of moving around, it's going to put a lot of pain on your joints, which is then going to make you feel tired having to withstand all of that. And it's pretty much just difficult to do anything. Obviously you use your joints for everything. You're using a joint every time. You're using a joint every time you move. So obviously if you have any type of arthritis, then you're going to be in some pain. So what do they usually do for people that do have arthritis? For one, give them painkillers. Yes, give them anti-inflammatories. But from what I've seen, some of the medications that they use are supposed to be used for different things or for other reasons. Let's see. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Okay, so I guess not non-steroid drugs. Immunosuppressants, which is usually used for patients with kidney, liver, or heart transplants. And you're using this for arthritis? I get it. It's well, actually, no, I don't get it. So basically, an immunosuppressant is made so that your body won't fight off, the new organ that you were donated. And so that your body can take it and get it working as quick as possible, rather than trying to fight it off just because, this is something new that's in the body. So, we don't like that. So immediately your body's just like, all right, send out the antibodies and go kill it. But obviously, that's not the best thing. But our body is our body's not perfect. We're all not perfect. So yeah, they'll give you immunosuppressants. Another one I seen was corticosteroids. Now, corticosteroids is also another anti-inflammatory, but also it has a bunch of side effects. And these side effects can include osteoporosis, which I found amazing because that is basically the weakening of the bones. So you're going to give someone with arthritis something that deteriorates your bones pretty much, if I'm reading that correctly. What? I wish I was making this shit up. I really do. I really do. But this is actually what doctors are giving people. And if you know anybody with arthritis, it's not like I've been saying too, it's not only in older people, it can happen to younger people as well. And I mean, especially for us gamers, we're pretty much using our hands most of the time. And people on PC, they're using that left hand and it's going that whole time. And even for your right hand, having to move, having to, that's your aiming hand. And so, yeah, that one probably moves the most. But that, and including people that play with a controller, which, they're literally like this the whole time. So, I mean, that just looks like it's arthritis waiting to happen. So, like I said, it happens to pretty much everybody because it's literally just an inflammation in the joints, whether it be acute or a very major problem, just like how I showed you in that picture. It can happen to everybody, and there's many ways that it can be prevented. Stretches are really good, and cannabis is another one, which I'll go into later. So I have two more actually, and also to build up off of the build onto the corticosteroid side effects. It also includes diabetes and weight gain, vulnerability to infections, and a thinning of the skin. And that's just in the short term. If it's used for more than 3 months, then you are looking at... Oh, sorry. That's if you've used it in more than 3 months. Now I'm talking about the short term. So, that's the 3 month. And now for the short term, you get headaches, muscle weakness, puffiness in face, facial hair growth, which I thought was interesting. And because obviously your skin is going to start thinning out, you are more prone to bruising as well. I just found this quite amazing when you pretty much give someone an anti-inflammatory for their rheumatoid arthritis, it will not only it will not only barely take care of the problem at hand, it will sprout up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 10 other problems. Now, I really wish, like I said, I really wish I was making this up, but as many of you people know, and if you know anyone that has ever taken any type of medication, you know that there's going to be some type of side effect. And I mean, given the fact that maybe like not Advil if you take it obviously in moderation, but I mean, come on now. You're taking over-the-counter drugs, and yet this is the stuff that's supposed to be helping you, yet does the exact opposite, makes more problems. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States. United States, the world, pretty much. Big Pharma owns everything. We know this. So, two more, I guess, medications that that is given to people with arthritis is a counter irritants. Oh, okay. Which actually, maybe I should touch on that one last. So last one, so this other one's called MTX. MTX is it's just an abbreviation. But MTX medication. Here we go. Looks like this. Or it doesn't look like this, but this is what it is. And let me blow this up for you guys just so you can see this and see what it's actually supposed to be used for. Isn't this amazing? Isn't this amazing? You guys see this right here? It's used to treat cancer in the blood. I mean, it can also be used to treat rheumatoid arthritis. That's only probably because that's what they use it for now. That's why they have it in there. But this first sentence right there, that's actually what it's supposed to be used for. Cancer in the blood, bone, lung, breast, head, and neck. But what does cancer have to do with arthritis? I don't know. But yeah, maybe I should have done a little bit more research into that. But as far as what I can see, you're giving someone something for something else. You're giving someone a medication for a completely different ailment. In my mind, at least. I got it. That was weird. But come on, people. Come on. Are we really living in the 21st century still? I mean, the 20th century? But, yeah. And so the last one, actually, which I thought was very interesting, and which actually will be a good one for me to go into for cannabis, and how arthritis, or how cannabis and arthritis relate, or how cannabis can be used for arthritis, I guess should be a better said. So it's called capsaicin. I will show it to you guys just because. So it's basically this cream, right? Cream looks like this. And surprisingly, I thought it was very interesting. Capsaicin is actually the stuff that makes a chili hot. And apparently that's used for pain relief and like inflammation relief, or like an anti-inflammatory. But I mean, that doesn't surprise me. We in topicals and in creams like this, creams is a topical, but most of these topicals are going to have other natural ingredients like capsaicin, menthol, what's the other big one? Arnica. I know a lot of companies use Arnica because that's just been like the anti-inflammatory topical craze. I'm telling you. I'm sure probably most of you have heard of Arnica as well. But yeah. So that one's more of, I guess, the natural route to it. And you will, yeah, like I said, you'll see a lot of cannabis products mixed with capsaicin or Arnica or St. John's wort or a bunch of other stuff. Which is actually, it seems like a pretty decent business. But at least to kind of give you guys an insight of how well it works, in 2010, a German study of people with joint pain, they used a capsaicin cream, and nearly 50% of them using a 0.05 capsaicin cream for 3 weeks. Their pain decreased by 50% using a 0.05% capsaicin cream. So even just from this cream, their pains were decreased by 50%. Now imagine if you were to have cannabis incorporated into that. Leave that one up to you guys. And the last kind of natural ingredient that people use for arthritic joints is menthol. Now, menthol, why? Well, for many reasons, but just to kind of give you so menthol cream, it's been used for fucking forever. I mean, just to show you guys right here, Tiger Balm should be your number one example of menthol. Now everybody knows what Tiger Balm's about. If you're an athlete, or if you had any type of joint pains, that was pretty much like even my go-to when I was playing basketball and stuff like that. Like, I'd be using Tiger Balm. I used to have a Tiger Balm. I used to have a little Tiger Balm topical jar in my bag. Like, that would never leave my bag, pretty much. But yeah, Bengay, yeah, exactly. All of those, all those menthol products, just because it does wonders, but it's more so for like surface area pain. Because while arthritis is more so it's not really so much like it is inside the joint, but the menthol, how should I better say this? I guess the menthol really is better for like a temporary pain relief, pretty much. It doesn't last for very long, but it gets the job done. So, I guess from there, and also menthol is used in many other cannabis topicals as well. There's one that we sell a lot of from a company called Kaizen, and they have an Arctic cream that has menthol in it. And while for some pains it may not work out so well, I know for my friend who tore his ACL not too long ago, he's still recovering from it. Used that Arctic cream balm, and it didn't really do too much for him. It was more so like a temporary pain relief, but got the job done at the time. So, how can cannabis help with arthritis? Well, it can happen in many ways, and pretty much like most ailments, you can consume cannabis in pretty much all of the forms in order to take care of your pains and your problems, I guess. So arthritis, it's on the list of medical conditions that is approved by usually every state, and pretty much if you have medical cannabis approved in your state, in your county, in your country, whatever, if you have arthritis, you're more than likely you're pretty much 99.9% okay to go ahead and get your medical card and start discovering how cannabis can help you. And so the first discovery of it working, they actually didn't really know why it worked. They were using a mainly CBD topical on just a control group of patients. But they did find that usually people with arthritis, and how CBD connects with that is that it connects to the CB1 receptors, which are usually have to do with nerve pain. And THC also does a really good job of blocking those receptors as well. So, CBD and THC, you kind of need both of them in order for it to work. Now, for those of you that don't know, when using cannabis topically, it will not get you high. It will not cross that blood-brain barrier that pretty much gets you high or gives you psychoactive effects. So you are free to rub on as much cream as you need, but in some cases, there are creams that can be transdermal, which means that it'll actually get into your bloodstream. So while some of them may get you high, I have heard cases where they rubbed on a transdermal cream and it got them a little high. It got them some psychoactive effects. Now, with that being said, for both transdermal and regular topicals, there is a possibility of it coming up on a drug test. So if you do use a topical that does have THC in it, I would definitely be cautious about it for sure. And disclaimer, I am in no way promoting cannabis use or whatever, just trying to educate people and make them be smart about it. But yeah, so you are free to use topicals as you may need, but know that it may come up on a drug test. So the University of Kentucky discovered CBD topically can be beneficial for arthritis, and that was back in, I think, 2000, from what I was looking at. Early, or maybe, I think that was actually earlier. I think it was like in the 1990s. But already back then, they discovered, this is University of Kentucky. This is a college that is funded by the federal government. Yet they did research on it and found that it's beneficial to arthritis, yet it's still considered a drug that is just as harmful as heroin. I'll leave that one up to you guys. So in December of 2017, I'll kind of be jumping around with these dates, by the way. So in December of 2017, Canadian doctors discovered that CBD can prevent pain and nerve damage in rat osteoarthritis. Now, I'll bring up this article. I thought it was super weird. But basically from what I read, and I'll kind of give you guys a look at that. But basically from what I read is that they injected arthritis into rats. I don't know how they did that, nor do I want to know. I mean, I don't even wish that on my worst enemy, let alone do it on an animal. And an animal is harmless as a freaking rat. But, I mean, so they did the test, right? They did the test, and from what they discovered, I guess, CBD was administered after onset clinical symptoms, and CBD was equally effective when administered orally, but where is it? CBD was administered in clinical symptoms, and in both models of arthritis, the treatment effectively blocked progression of arthritis. So this is a scholarly article. This is, National Academy of Sciences of the United States of America. So, I don't know how more legit the article can get, but you have this already being researched. And this is actually back in 2000. This is back in 2000. Are you kidding me? The government has all of this information right there. I mean, I'm not gonna make this a rant. I'm not gonna do it because it'll make it way too easy for me to just do that. But yeah, while I think this is America, obviously this is American, this is United States of America. So I mean, there was another article that that I had read about the Canadian one, which was the one before that. But I mean, you have multiple countries around the world researching cannabis for countless amounts of ailments, and you know, it's still illegal. But that's why we do this, because we do this to educate everyone. But at the same time, I hope people will in some way, do some lobbying, get out there, go try to make a difference. I mean, it's not just going to change just with you saying, "Oh, I want weed to be legal," period. I mean, for me, I try to do as much as I can, try to do these talks, try to be at work, and yeah. But I've been trying to figure out more ways where I can get more involved into the cannabis industry, and how, if possible, I personally can be the one to make a difference in the laws, which could be possible. Who knows? Because I mean, I'm telling y'all, these laws were practically written by people who have never tried cannabis before, or have even seen it before in their lives. I mean, you have people still living in the reefer madness stigma. So the only way to get people out of that mindset is through education. Period. I mean, I don't know. Should I make this more funny? I mean, should I make it into a song? Should I make my cannabis talks into songs now? Into some way make this more entertaining, but I mean, at the same time, it's weed. It's already entertaining as it is. Go out, go try it. No, actually don't go try it. If it's illegal in your state or wherever you're at, don't go fucking try it, obviously. But, don't bash it. Obviously, don't bash anything until you try it, but I just want to let you guys know that with all of the research being done and all of this stuff, just at your leisure, all the stuff that I've looked up was literally through a Google search saying cannabis and arthritis, and you'll find a shitload of scholarly articles and just articles in general about the subject and how much cannabis can actually help with that. I mean, the information's all there. I'm just doing the research for you and bringing it to you in a 30-minute talk, which I will eventually, edit down and get right. But yeah. And so the last one I have here is that in January of 2006, a company called Sativex, I'm not joking, Sativex has made pretty much a spray it's a mouth spray that is supposed to be beneficial for arthritis. Now, this is another scholarly article, and I think this was done from Canada. Or no, this is from Great Britain, because this is a British company. But I think they're called BM Logistics or something like that. BM something, I forgot. But Sativex was pretty much it's pretty much a 1-to-1, so an equal amount of THC as there is CBD in the tincture spray. They used it on looks like 58 patients. Yeah, 58 patients. 31 of them were given the Sativex, and the other 27 were given a placebo. They were told to use it daily, and just from within, I guess, their first trial run, they noticed that it ended up being a significant analgesic effect, which, I mean, already should show you right there that you can give a complete placebo and then you can give them cannabis and it'll still work. So it'll still show, or it'll work, but it'll show the reasons why cannabis is beneficial rather than just taking nothing, you know? But yeah. So now I guess to give my personal opinions, because we are kind of running this a little bit long right now. But cannabis has been around for forever. The use of it medically has actually been around for almost just as long. Now, why is it that when people have pretty much been using it for one, medical benefits, two, for overall just infrastructure, and I mean, hell, you can make hemp paper, you can make a building, there's hemp concrete. So I mean, while hemp, yes, is now legalized in the federal government of the United States, so we're one step closer, but at the same time, that's only hemp. We all know this, and I'm sure they definitely know this. And why is it still illegal? We'll go on. Well, I mean, we could go into that for forever, but I mean, I do this. I've been telling people to use cannabis for their arthritic joints for over 4 years now. I mean, this is just another moment for me to explain the benefits of it and the reasons on why people shouldn't be using the stuff that the hospital is giving them, or whatever Candyman doctor is prescribing them. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna have way less side effects than you will with their regular over-the-counter drugs. That's just fact. And the side effects, surely, I mean, if there are any side effects, they surely won't be anywhere near as bad as, what is it? Diabetes, bruising of the skin, osteoporosis, all of that good stuff, or bad stuff. From my opinion, the information is all there. The information is all there. Would I use it if I had arthritis? You guarantee that. Would probably a closed-minded baby boomer, maybe even like X generation older person, probably won't. But given that there is information like this out there that could easily change their mind in one article in 2 seconds, all it takes, I feel, for someone to believe that cannabis works is to have someone, I would never wish this on anybody, but I mean, someone close to them would need to have an ailment that cannabis can treat and kind of go through the road of trial and error taking the over-the-counter drugs, seeing how much they don't work, and seeing how much they pretty much do the exact opposite and create more problems. Then, once you feel like you've had enough of that, finally move over to cannabis. Do the simple Google searches that you can, and then figure out that cannabis was there this whole time and you were bashing it, and could have saved you a lot of time, money, and pain. Now, I'm not going to say cannabis is going to work for everyone, but given the research that's been done and the countless amount of people that have given their feedback of how well it can work, I say it doesn't hurt to try. I mean, I don't know why anyone would take something knowing that possibly one of your side effects could be death. Like how they have on those on like the random commercials of, you know, blood thinners or, you know, whatever shit that they got going on. And they list the side effects super fast, and one of them is freaking death. And I'm like, "Oh yeah." And then of course you get those same commercials like, "Oh, if you have ever been affected by blah blah blah, and if they have either gotten blah 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 or death, then please call." I guarantee you they're going to be doing a whole lot of other shit than calling that law firm, but you know, it's all there. It's all there. The information's all here, and I'm here to give it to you. And hopefully y'all have been enjoying this. And we are at like 46 minutes now. And I think I'm going to have to bring this definitely to a close pretty soon. But as usual, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for lurking. Thank you all for chatting, I guess. Sir Dino Helm showing the OMC love. Much appreciated, my man. But yeah, we're going to do this again next week like we do every week. Because I love it, and I love doing this. This is the whole reason, not the whole reason on why I started streaming, but definitely a big part. And I'm happy to do this every time, regardless whether people are here chatting or not. This actually is good for me because I get to, you know, work my cannabis hat and work my cannabis brain a little bit more because, you know, doing a little bit of research myself never hurts. Especially since I want to be in this industry at the end of the day. Yeah. I feel like this will be, in some way, a good resume for me, maybe. Who knows? But again, thank you all for being here for Cannabis Talk number 12. And I had a great time talking about how cannabis can help with arthritis. And it can do it in many forms. So, you guys all have a great night. And I think, of course, you know, just like how we should every stream, we got to go raid someone. But for now, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to start up the music. And we'll go raid someone. And I'll figure that out. But again, thank you all for being here. And deuces.
Dragging me down.